Good morning, everybody. We are back for the last day of the 2024 U.S. Open. We had a little break yesterday, as I think we were just worn out from the men's pairs day. It was just too much. We went give a day off for the Bell Lawn Bowling Club here in Sun City, Arizona, where we've been doing our broadcasting all week long. So gave the fine volunteers and not to mention the greens a little bit of a break, so that we could have them a little more refreshed for today. So we got quite the treat for you today. So we'll be doing the women's singles. That's our coverage, our primary coverage today. They did qualifying over the last 2 days. They played 4 games in 5 rounds for the last 2 days to make it 8-game total. And then the top 8 players, who are all 7-1, are in the championship flight. And then the next 8 players, who are all 6-2, are in the third flight. And we're going to see one of those third flight quarterfinals here between Giulia Gallo from Long Beach, California, and Songsin Tsao from Pointe Claire, Quebec, Canada. I've known Giulia for a while, being in Southwest Division. She's also the current U.S. Women's National Singles Champion. She was a member of the women's force team that won the U.S. Open with Janice Bell and Ann Nunes and Candy DeFazio. So congrats to them. So she's looking to get some more third flight money here, get another title. Songsin I met last year at the U.S. Open. She's got a very, very nice game. Very nice game. You'll see a lot. This is going to be a treat. You're going to see some really good balls. I'd be shocked if you didn't see otherwise. So their ladies are just finishing up their first trial ends. In addition, I should add, the women's singles, there was 55 players. So the top 32 made it to the second day again, and I mentioned the top 16. Some of the others are another club, and they might come in over here for their finals. One other last tidbit is, humorously, I think, is the championship flight. The 2 ladies that are probably vying for bowler of the tournament are going to be playing each other. So Ann Nunes and Janice Bell both qualified in the championship flight. They were part of the women's force team that I mentioned before, and they won the women's pairs gold medal. And as all things happen, they happen to be playing against each other in the quarterfinals in the championship of the women's singles. So I will do my best to see if I could keep an eye on that game, because I think that's going to be a barn burner. In addition to what's going on, we have on the other green here at Bell is the men's fours are going on. You can see that maybe in the background, all the guys here. So if you see a bunch of guys going around, why aren't they playing? Similar story that they have the top 8 that came back. They had 44 teams of fours here, which may be close to a record for participation in the men's fours. But the top 24 made it to the second day, with 8 in the championship, the next 8 in the third flight, and then the lower 8 in the fourth flight, and they are at a different location, but we're coming back over here around lunchtime. So we're just finishing up the trials, but we're going to stick our coverage is going to be on the women's singles. But and I know the guys are going to stay on that other green all day to keep the play a little more consistent for them. But if it comes to it, and hopefully I can get some help in a runner, then I will try and see if I can get some intel on what's going on with the women's fours as the day go on. And I haven't said it yet, but I'm Scott Roberts. I'm the commentator for you today, and I have been all week. I'm looking forward to bringing this match for you today. Big thanks again to our chair of the live streaming committee, Lauren Dion, who was out here with our right-hand man, Aaron Zangle. Helped me set up with everything and get all the equipment, but they qualified, so they're actually in they're in that other location, so they're, I think, in the fourth flight. So they made it to the fourth flight and made it to the second day, so they'll be playing it. I told them, win your games, don't come over here unless you have to. So hopefully they'll stick to that. In the meantime, I'll be talking about myself, and hopefully I'm not driving myself insane. We are still working on these trials. I wanted to give a shout out again to back to my birthplace. They have a pretty heavy fire that's going on in the Southern California area, specifically centered in Moore Park and Camarillo Heights. Some of the people that I know at my parents' home club, including my parents at the Oxnard Lawn Mowing Club, had to be evacuated because of that fire. But I was able to get in touch with my folks yesterday, and they are fine, and everybody there is fine, and all the families are fine. No loss of life, no loss of homes, at least for any of the members. I know there have been some homes lost, which is a tragedy, but I'm just happy and pleased that nothing has happened to my family. I think you all would understand. And they were without power, but got it sometime in the middle of the night last night. So hopefully their lives are returning back to normal. But hopefully our fine fire crews can put that out soon. Should be. I mean, it looks like we've had some rough days with the wind, but it looks very calm. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day for bowls today, which is what you want for the finals. We got lucky with the pairs for the men. The morning was kind of rough with the wind, but it kind of slowed down significantly as we got to the finals. So it was just pure bowling, and it showed. And you caught any of that match, it was quite the barn burner. Going down to the extra end, but a nice win and a first U.S. Open title for Chris Dodd and Tom Richardson, which was pretty spectacular for those guys. I'm real happy for them. And in all Laguna Beach, my home club, all Laguna Beach final. All right, looks like the preamble's over. Looks like Songsin is going to have the mat first. And we'll get this women's singles third flight quarterfinal underway. Songsin's going with a little bit of a shorter jack. Mat pretty close to the tee, as you can see there. And I'd say it's a short medium. First bowl in the match here. Pretty solid opener from Songsin. Kind of what you want. Just a couple feet through. So the ladies will be playing 16 up today. First to 16. I'll make sure I get that right there. That's 18. They did 16 in the qualifiers. So it's 18 up today. Everything will be to 18 points. Giulia's first. Pretty good opener there. A little shorter than you wanted, but something she could build on. Not too far away. And on the running surface, she can play through that for a second. Small adjustment needed from Songsin. Just a little bit of an over adjustment. I see Giulia probably stick with that hand. She's got her bowl in the running surface. Probably just try and add a yard, see if she can float around her own bowl or just kind of push her own in. Kind of tighten it up. Looks pretty good here. And a little bit of a toucher going by. Two very nice bowls. And you like to see the adjustment. That's the big key to this game. Once you get a solid delivery, is being able to make an adjustment off the first. So you just kind of needs to get that Goldilocks bowl, as I like to call it. Too hot, too cold. Get it just right. She can even play off of Giulia's if she wanted to. I think she should just probably try and mix between the two, since she had two pretty good draws. Doesn't need to do much different. I'd like to get the inside half of this bowl. Close. Giulia's going to ask to see. Might have got in. Not too sure from the angle here. Marker's even having a healthy look. He's not sure. I think he's saying one and a measure. Giulia's probably going to be switching hands here. Just wants to kind of go, yeah, she's switching hands to her forehand. She doesn't want to pop Songsin up. Just wants to kind of come around that front. Yeah, she played it pretty safe. Given that she was holding 2, she didn't really need to do anything crazy. She just wanted to try and get a bull in the head, decent position. You can see it in this picture just by kind of the edge of her right leg. Her bull is. I'm trying to see if I go to this other camera angle there, you can kind of see it there. All right, Songsin, I wonder if she's going to go with her. She's got a couple options. She played the forehand with the other 3, so she's probably going to stick with her forehand and play on that ball. Just to come to that shot ball would probably be good. She could play into that bull, or she could hit that front bull if she's a little bit narrow. You know, just something that's a little, yeah, she's got a little extra pace on it, which is probably good. Yeah, just a little unlucky. Just a little unlucky to get through that hole there. She could have also played it on the other hand and applied similar kind of weight, and she could have hit the inside of the red bull in front on the left. She could have hit her own red bull in, but she might have been worried about pushing that other blue bull up, and she could have played through that. But given that she played 3 forehands, I don't mind the shot. I think that's a proper play. She just got a little unlucky, a little bit through with it. Giulia probably, again, with the forehand, probably going to tighten it up. Doesn't want to touch that red again, so she should probably be pretty safe here. Just will come back. Again, one of the things you want to learn when you get to the upper levels is knowing how to miss. She doesn't want to miss narrow and push one of those red bulls in. She'd be better off just doing that since she was holding. So we'll wait and see. What the score is. Let's see if I can get a look since they were doing a measure. She's willing to give her 2. Yeah. So 2 for Giulia Gallo in the first end. So she's up 2-0 at the first end, scheduled to get to 18 points. Yeah, good morning, John. Yeah, we do have Jordan Coase on the rink next door. They're trying to keep an eye on. It's just a lot of games going on for me to keep track of by my widow old self here. So I'll try and keep an eye on things as best I can. Giulia, I call this kind of a little standard to medium long. She's got the mat up a couple. I kind of like this myself if you're just starting out with the distance, because you're kind of getting away from the ends of the rink, which are they get a little extra wear, so they can get a little more, matted down. So you get the kind of nicer grass in this area here. Just a couple yards up on either side. This is a great opener here by Giulia. A couple feet through. That's exactly what you want in the first bowl. Chai Tai coming in on the comment. Rooting for Songsin. Yep. Pick your favorites here. I'll try and keep an eye on the comments from time to time. We're only broadcasting on Facebook today. We had a little issue with our bandwidth trying to broadcast to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. We're going to upload to YouTube a little bit later and go live on Facebook, since we had way more people watching live on the Facebooks. Giulia kind of got a little frame, a little bit of an overcorrection, but not terrible. I think Songsin really wants to improve on her first one. It's not what you want to do with that first ball, leaving it a healthy 2+ yards short. You can see a nice little correction here, floating right between. It's close. Yeah, that's what her first ball should be. If her first ball was there, then that would be great, and then she could come back off that and have a useful ball. Giulia just wanted to look right between the two. This looks pretty nice. She's probably going to float right to the back ball, just a little short of it. Holding 3. Putting the pressure on Songsin. I mean, you only got 2 balls left, and you're down 3. Just really, it's a test of your mettle to try and make sure that you can get through Do what you need to do here. This looks pretty good. Looks like a really good bowl here by Songsin. Yeah, that's real nice. Great bowl. And a toucher.
The bowl is right behind the jack.
Giulia asking how close it is, and that's, you know, that's a pure black toucher. I don't think she's more than like a mil or two. So interesting. I think Giulia would come with a little bit of pace here. She wants to try and just kind of crack the egg, so to speak. She could hit the bowl into the jack, and then, given the angle, if it's right, the jack should stay right where it is, and the bowl should go. Or she could chip the bowl out if she gets part of it. Yeah. Either one of those were good options. It's a pretty good bowl. Wouldn't mind her having a little bit more pace, but I don't think she wanted to go crazy. It's kind of early days. She's got a little bit of lead. You got to believe your opponent's not going to keep bringing fire like Songsin all day. It's not easy to do. Songsin with a good second. Just might have floated away. It's worth a look, I think, on the second one. The Songsin will definitely get on the board with at least one. Two it is. Two very, very nice bowls from Songsin. If she can keep doing that, this is going to be a hell of a match. So 2-2 after two. Ladies do have, I guess, a 2 hour and 20-minute time limit today. Hopefully that won't be necessary. We won't have to worry about anything. These ladies seem to be playing fairly quick, as most ladies tend to do, and most players, especially in singles, tend to do. But these two especially are, as you can see, playing kind of on the quick step. Yeah, similar kind of distance here by Songsin. Here's her first ball. I really like to put the pressure on early. Have a nice, good, solid first ball. A little heavy and narrow, but she's going to get away with it by grabbing the jack and taking it back. Not too bad. That would have been a pretty good opener. Her turn's really good because she happened to hit the jack. We'll just in front, Giulia. She's doffed the jacket now. She's warm enough. Going her backhand. See, she's going to make it all the way. She's going to make it all the way. She's going to make it all the way. Pretty good effort there, pretty close. Not sure who was holding. Songsin wants to know. I don't think it really changes her shot, but
Your bowl is in front of the jack.
Songsin wanted to know what the position of her ball was. Again, I'm not sure if it really dictates her shot. I mean, I didn't know what she'd do. She's clearly not going to go on the backhand because she doesn't put Giulia's in. So I think it's just, regardless, this is just a forehand draw. She can afford to be a little positive, play it through. She can hit the inside half of the blue bowl, get to the jack, or the inside of the red bowl. Just kind of cut this across a little bit. I would have liked to have seen her be a little more positive. The question is whether it's in Giulia's way or she's worried about it. No, she didn't look like she is. She kind of almost wants to play this a little narrow anyway. She can come off her own blue. She can get to the red. She just wants to drop it underneath that front red bowl. She's got a little bit of pace on it, I think. I'm going to try and just kind of knife that one out. Just missed. I like that weight. That's pretty nice. She added the weight so she could make sure that she could get underneath the red bowl. And that gave her an idea with that pace, which is pretty good, of how much room she had. Since when it kind of drifted by that front red bowl, how much room she had to go by. So she'll probably do that again and make a little adjustment. Songsin needs to like to see her have a better bowl. Nice and positive here, since she doesn't know whether she's holding or not. The third. Just a tip on that one, or playing it through. This looks really well done here. Is it going to make it all the way? Oh, just another foot of pace would have been good. wants to know if she got knocked in or not. I think it's 2. We'll probably get another measure. Yeah, I think it was just kind of dangling. It kind of blocks Giulia's shot, though, with what she was going to play. She can't really do that backhand anymore. I think she's going to try and copy what Songsin did. Yeah, she's switching over to her forehand. Just trying to float it in between the 2 reds. I think that's the proper play. It's got a little zesty here. Ladies are going to come to the head. Give them a side view. You can kind of see Giulia's in the back there. Big thanks to Arrow Bowls, our sponsor for the live streaming all this week. Thank you to very much to Arrow Bowls. Same line every time. Thank you, Arrow Bowls. Tweak the camera a little bit so you can see that ball in the back. Songsin took a good look. I'm sure both ladies will, so they get an idea of what it is. Songsin's really kind of controlling. Even if she's not holding, she's got good control of this head. She could turn this into a 3 with the right shot. Just needs a tap on this one. Yeah, that's well done there. I think it was a little zesty for what I was. She could have easily kind of cleaned that all the way out if she got a little unlucky. But I think Giulia's indicating that she's going to play some weight here, which is an interesting choice. She does have that back roll. You can see how it's set up. I think she's thinking she could hit her own, either hit the reds and get both reds out. She could hit the blue, which is likely going to move the jack, and she's got that 1 there. She's only down 1, so I think this is kind of a pretty aggressive play. And it's going to be unlucky for her to knock her own out without touching anything else. See what happens. Yeah, she just kind of just missed. That was probably that was what she was trying to do. It should be 1 more for Songsin. Just double check and make sure that it actually is 1. All right, 1 more for Songsin. Songsin Tsao goes up 3-2 over Giulia Gallo after 3 ends. This match is scheduled to go to 18. Got some more go-go's. Go-go Songsin. She's, after dropping that 2 in the first, she's got a good strong start here. US Open is also brought to you by Barry Bowling Systems. A lot of artificial greens that we have in the area have been put in by Barry Bowling Systems. They do fine work. David Aarons from Australia. It's coming out every couple years or so. But he's always been a dedicated and consistent sponsor for the US Open. So thank you, David, and thank you to Barry Bowling Systems for your sponsorship. All right, Songsin's first bowl. I like to see her kind of controlling the head, doing get a nice good start here. Not bad. Just a little short. Giulia's first. She could play this pretty comfortably. Nice and positive to either come to that bowl or get to the jack. Just kind of both players coming a little narrow. Focus seems a little off. Not quite sure why. Go with the blurry image here. Songsin, like to see her come through. Just touching the jack. Kind of fortunate. Sometimes you just got to trust what your eyes are telling you. I'd like to see Giulia doesn't need to change weight. She just needs to add some more grass since you've had three narrow bowls so far. So. is it going to hang on? Really, really, really nice bowl there. Really nice bowl. As you see, it just kept her pace. Very well done, and just made the slight adjustment on her line. Taking shot. Great bowl there. Songsin's thinking she's going to stick with the same hand. It's probably the best for her to stick with the same hand, honestly, and just kind of do a jack or bowl shot. Play it nice and positive on her forehand. She's asking to see what the position of the bowl is. I think that's kind of debating what her. She wants to know how short her front bowl is. She might be eyeballing whether she could come in, but I just think that's too far away to try and pump that in. But I think she looks like she's going to come the backhand. She might have been just a little put off by her line being kind of so far off on those first two. So she's going to try and come on the backhand again, jack or ball shot. She's got her own she could hit. I don't think she needs to be really lucky to get it in all the way for shot. She's just going to use it as a little bit of a guide. Personally, I think she would be better off making her adjustment on the forehand since she played two on that hand, but hopefully she could adjust from there. Giulia, again, I think, going to play the forehand. Done something similar. Maybe another, if you got the control, and add another foot or two, see if you can just tuck that jack behind your own. Just add a little more pace should do it. This is, yeah, you can see that's what she's trying to do, get a little more pace, get it behind. She just added a little too much. They just are going to walk off. This visit to the head, brought to you by Henselite USA, choice of champions. Jim Sopel out here. I think he's playing in the fours. I might see him around. But thank you to Jimmer, and thank you to Henselite USA for your sponsorship of the US Open. And by Jai Thai. Thank you to Jai Thai for your sponsorship this year. Good quality Thai food. I've heard some good things from the people who have gone to it, and the players, if you wear your name badge, they got 15% off their total bill at Jai Thai this week. And today's the last day, so make it over to Jai Thai if you can. Thank you, Jai Thai. All right, I wonder if Songsin probably would stick to the same thing because she just wants to make the adjustment. Personally, again, I think she'd be better off on the forehand, but in for a penny, in for a pound here at this point. Just trying to hit either jack or bull or her own up. And she's going to probably float all the way through here. Doesn't want to hit her own. Yeah. Just you can see what she was trying to be a little positive, see if she can hit that ball or hit the jack and kind of flick it over. I think she was thinking probably if she got that ball out, she had 3 seconds, and if I got that ball out, it'd be 3. But which is, it's a good shot. You would put Giulia to the test, but a much better shot to play if your opponent doesn't have another ball, especially somebody of Giulia's caliber who doesn't really have a problem drawing within a yard with regularity, especially when the pressure's on. All right, Giulia looking to just cut the weight, get back to that third one, just draw another, keep it simple. She could even run into her own, and it won't hurt her because there's a lot of gap to it. Probably should be in for second without too much difficulty here. And again, that was the issue with Songsin kind of playing that aggressive play, as she could, if she just played it, more on the draw. But that's going to be two for Giulia. Flipping to go to a 4-3 lead for Songsin Tsao. In this match, third quarterfinal in the 2024 US Open Women's Singles. Our last event for the day and for the tournament. Rather, we got a couple of events today. I don't know what I'm saying. Talking to myself again. This is the first event of the day, but the last event of the tournament. This will be the last day that we broadcast. And it's been our first tournament broadcasting, doing live streaming for the US Open. And it's also our first with this new equipment we have, so I think we'll be trying to make some adjustments and improving it, and we appreciate all the feedback that we've gotten through the week. And we'll be trying to make adjustments for future broadcasts that we have. So Giulia's she's pulled the mat up here a little bit. Quite a bit, actually. She's about halfway up the rink of what she can do. And just kind of go into something different. She seems to not to be too worried. Maybe she's just kind of trying something, see if she can have a test here or there. All right, Songsin, our first one. That's really nice. That's a great ball. That's kind of one of those sinking feelings, like you've adjusted, you've had the mat, you've adjusted the distance. It's something you want to try. And Giulia was close, not quite on the line, but then your opponent just drops in a stunner. Really good solid bowl, makes you rethink your life's choices. Giulia looking to make the adjustment here. Is it going to get the pace? Just a little more weight. Songsin could just kind of do the caterpillar here, just do the same thing, arrive on her own bowl. I wouldn't take any pace off of this at all. I'd just be doing it again. First one was really good. And then you see a caterpillar, like little section of the caterpillar, where like each bowl will be a section, just like have that bowl, and then you get a little closer, a little closer. This is well done. See, just like that. That's real good. Julia's checking. I'm thinking she's probably down one, maybe two. Just the one.
Which one is shot? Is it the last one?
This is shot.
So she'll probably switch over to forehand, yeah. Switch over to forehand, see if she can just come to the shot bowl. That front rubber. And just kind of overcook this one. Yeah, she put it all the way in the ditch. She really didn't need that much weight. And Songsin with two very, very good bowls here to start this end. I see no reason for her to do anything different. Kind of get there first. It's almost like a race to see who's going to get to that the shot bowl of Songsin. If she can do it, so much the better. And just a little short. Didn't really need to cut any pace off. And Giulia's on the last one. I think she's going to come with some weight here. Giulia likes to kind of drive herself out of trouble sometimes. A little bit more, definitely more than most ladies like to do. She's not far away. Yeah, look at that shot. Look at that shot. And when you got a weapon like that, why wouldn't you? Not a lot of the guys, not a lot of people do. Period. But especially on the ladies' side, to have that kind of strength, power, speed that you can take advantage of to do that, and with control. And a lot of people can throw it really hard, but to have the nice controlled weight that she did there, saw that those two bowls were in the line, she could hit that front one into the other one, knock them both out. Or probably one, could be two. Songsin's taking a look. She's gonna walk back down. She thinks it's one. Since she had those twos, really just want to just put it back, and then even that front rudder one's not in her way. Just had a nice smooth stroke. Just try and remember what it is that you did on those other two. Just even the inside half of this bowl is good. Almost. Giulia's. Just gonna say yeah, it's just the one. Just be one there. So Giulia goes up 5-3. Giulia Gallo over Songsin Tsao. They played 5 ends in this match to 18 up. Quick look, those who are watching, Jordan Kos. I didn't catch the name of her opponent, and I don't recognize her. Forgive me, but I see she's up 9-1 and has the match. So I at least got a little bit of an eye on that. So hopefully that's helpful intel. Try and look and see who it is that she's playing. Give equal credit here. Giulia's first bowl. I think she's kind of pulled the mat up again. Kind of cruised that one a little too far by. Songsin going to the backhand. I think she just kind of gave up on that forehander on that side. Just trying to play this stretch of grass. I think she feels a little more comfortable with the line. I think we'll see her have a steady dose of this hand. Yeah, that's a real good opener there. That's real well done. There's Giulia. Again, kind of a jackable shot, but doesn't need the pace for the first one. Just wants to have something hanging around for a second shot. That's good there. Songsin again. Gonna come this backhand. She played that pretty well now. Just good pace. Giulia trying to jack her ball shot here. Oh, that's unlucky. Nice pace there, but didn't quite get it in. Songsin's going to try and play a little position ball back with those two blues, or just try and draw again. It'd be terrible if we go a little higher and kind of protect against a big number here. Looks like that's what she's trying. She really wants to get a piece of that. Well, not ideal, but it's okay. At least she's got something in the back. Because if Giulia happens to flick that jack, it would have been 4. Giulia probably wants the same thing. She could hit either one of those bowls would help, preferably the middle one. Or she could drag the jack back for 3 if she wants. Let's see how her pace is. Just going to turn a lot more than she wanted, I think. Yeah, look at that, really hooking around. Might have backdoor off of that ball to get to 2. See, now Giulia, if it was reverse, would be looking to blast and see if she can get all 3 of those blue balls out. Wouldn't put it past her, but Songsin's just going to try and draw. Take a little more grass, just keep it simple. Keep that weight, that really good weight for the first 2. Even if she's got a little backstop, if she has the one ball. It's pretty good there. This is a great bowl. What a great end by Songsin. A little even touch on the jack for a bonus. Make it 3. Great bowl by Songsin. For whatever reason, we don't have a scoreboard on this rink, and I think they only have so many scoreboards. So I'm doing my best to try and keep track of what's going on. I think because the guys are on the other green and they're using some scoreboards there. So, great end by Songsin, going up 6-5 here. This match going to 18 up. So I looked it up while we were waiting, and Jordan is playing Sherry Curry. That's who her opponent is. And I see Jordan on the mat, but they haven't done the scoreboard yet. It was 9-1, but I think I didn't manage to see the head to see, but Jordan's got a pretty good commanding lead in the rink next door. Can't quite make out the Bell Nunes score from where I'm sitting. But again, another one I'll try and keep an eye on. Songsin's opener again. You're seeing her playing that same stretch of grass, and that's what I expect to see from her. She seems to have liked it. Just kind of, you'll see her like most leads and single players. Just keep. I figured out what the line is. I'm just going to keep playing it and just go forehand up and backhand back, forehand backhand. She just happened to play this one a little narrow and short. So it kind of opened the door a little bit for Giulia. She'll play that same hand, so she doesn't want to run into Songsin's ball. Just a little short. Again, a little bit of a difference, and you'll see this. We've seen this kind of all week, and it's kind of human nature. So Songsin kind of kept the mat back a little bit, and is kind of just maybe 2 yards at most on either side between the jack short of the tee, but a definitely shorter distance. So they're trying to make the adjustment. They weren't playing the same distance, so the natural tendency is to come up a little short because this was the stroke I used that worked for me last end. Decent upper. Now she just wants to add a yard, play through her own bowl, either pop it up or get a little edge and come on in, or just come right on clean to the jack. Just jack low. Nice bowl there. So now Giulia's gonna switch over. Cause her switch over. She'll probably play a little zesty bowl here, just something that's gonna get underneath that front red, get to the bowl of the jack. I like to see her with a little more pace. This ain't gonna get there. Not what you wanted when you're down 2 double G. All right, Songsin. Really don't want to do too much different. She could afford to add a little more pace because then she could hit her own, or even if she misses everything coming all the way back, wouldn't be bad here. But no shorter. You don't need to be short. No fear. Yeah, it's kind of missed the line there. Should be 2. Giulia's come through here. Similar kind of thing. She should be a little more pacey here. Just wants to float it underneath that front red one and get to the shot ball of the jack. This looks well done here. This is going to be a honey. Look at this shot. Great ball there. Cutting into one. She'll be a little more positive on the next one. You see all short bowls though. All 6 of these bowls are short. It's going to be well served to put one behind. Got good position. Anything I think in that back quadrant, and get something to the tee. Or she's going to try and hit the edge, see if you can hit this blue one. That's good. I don't know if she made it to 2. Giulia's going to ask. Just one down, so she didn't quite get there. Giulia, let's see, she could come with weight, but I don't think she's going a little more controlled weight. Just again, similar kind of shot she just did. Just trying to travel through and see if she can pick that jack clean or come into the pile of the 2 reds and have it kind of ricochet off. Just wants to be on the right of these bowls. Flopped in, a little unlucky. I like that pace. She didn't miss it by much. Take a look. Probably 1 for Songsin. Got 1 out. They're looking at the second one. One or 2. Thank you. Got a little intel there. Just 1 for Songsin. 7-5. So we're 7-5 after 7. All right. Checking the comments again. Hey Stanley, yeah, we decided not to go on YouTube because we were having issues trying to stream to both at the same time, and it cost us, I think, with the bandwidth. So it's something we'll get figured out in the future. We'll upload it probably later to YouTube, but go live on Facebook. We're only getting like maybe a 50 to 100 that were live, as opposed to the 1,500 we were getting on Facebook. So we're gonna stick with the Facebook here. So that's why we're not going on YouTube. So tell your friends we're on Facebook only. Hey Harvey, and thanks for the kind word, Larry. Appreciate it. Long, Roger the Pirate, nice to hear from you. Yeah, we're doing what we can with the video and the audio. Hopefully it's not too bad. It'll get cleaned up. There's not much I could do with the choppiness with the internet. It's just kind of the satellite thing. We know that's one of the things we want to work on, is trying to smooth it out. We were trying to see if we can get it going for today, and we just couldn't work it out. But I know that's one of the things we want to do, because I know Gary Barnes, who's also one of the one of our technical advisors with the team is he's got a system to be able to smooth out the internet. So that's something we'll do an improvement. We just couldn't get it going in the setup today. So something to look for that we'll be trying to do in our future broadcasts. All right. Both ladies kind of a little bit through in their first, and then Songsin made the adjustment. Just a little short with their second, but still for shot. Giulia didn't quite make an adjustment here. If anything, she went too harder. Songsin's definitely been outplaying her these last few ends for sure. As soon as she switched over to this side of the green, you'll see the heavy dose from her. I think she'll be playing it 90% of the time. Anytime she can draw, she's just going to stick, I think, to this side of the green. You'll see going up and back and up and back. She's found the line pretty well and has got a good feel for the weight. Here's another solid second. Giulia Double G could really use to get one in here. Just drop a little bit of the pace. And not far away. It's a real good effort here. Just going to float it by. Look at that. That's well done. Great ball, Double G. Well done there. And having it fall right beside. It's going to take both of the ladies are going to have a look. So while they're doing that, thank you to one of our sponsors, the Nixon Group, your Orange Realtors. Nixon Group, I know they've been longtime supporters here in the South Central Division of the United States. And I know a lot of people that have either relocated in the Sun City, Arizona area, in the Phoenix area, or relocated within it or to it from various places across the country. And they've always been big sponsors here in the area. So thank you to your sponsorship, Nixon Group. Songsin's had a look. One of the things I like with these players, they not really mess around, when it comes to playing their bowls. But when the time comes that they need to kind of make a shot, and you want to be sure. I mean, you really don't. In the first two bowls, it should be pretty obvious what you're going to do, except in the rare circumstances. But after three, I can understand having a look. So Songsin's going to switch over to the forehand. I think she's going to try and press her own or push that ball up. That's where her play is, see if she can get to that shot ball. Giulia's didn't miss it by much, a pretty good effort. You can see if she would have pushed that one out, if that blue ball's gone, then she'd be sitting 3, maybe 4. So I think that's what she was thinking. And especially since she could play it freely since she was down already in the head and had some back balls, so it wasn't a whole lot of danger for her. I think Giulia, interesting. She could play their hand, but she's just looking for another draw. I mean, I would think she'd probably want to go on the backhand here and come through. If she happens to click the jack a little bit, she can get a home run, get 4 out of it. But I don't think she'll be thinking that. She'll be going more on the draw and try and get to 2 and tie this match up. Especially since she just did it. This looks pretty well done here again. Yeah, nice instant replay by Giulia. That's well done. See a nice little appreciation, good sportsmanship from Songsin. I think both these ladies quality people. So it should be 7-7 after 8 in this U.S. Open 2024 U.S. Open Women's Singles Quarterfinal for the third flight. Looking next door, I think Sherry Curry got on the board again, but Jordan Goss has got an 11-2 lead now. I don't think, again, with the shortage of scoreboards of all things, I don't think Nunes and Bell has a scoreboard in that game. So I have no way to know. It'll be a secret. Let's see what Giulia's kind of kept the mat a little bit back. Again, kind of this back to this, and then the jack's a little shorter. Again, it's a little bit of a different distance here from what they've been playing. Well done there, by look at that, floated right behind. That's a great shot. Pinch it in a little bit here. There we go. Here's Songsin. Interesting that she chose to switch. She'd been playing that other hand pretty well. Oh, that's unlucky. Pretty good shot there, pretty good opener. But, I thought it was interesting. She really played either hand, and she'd been playing so well on that, which would have been her forehand here. Just a little surprised she switched over. Giulia doesn't want to do anything much different. She just wants to kind of play very similar. Get there first. A little jacker ball in a row. This is well done here too. Look at this. Another stunner. Great ball. Let's see what Songsin's going to do. Now I can see why she wants him with those two in a line. She wants them. And they're very close. Probably play the similar kind of shot you saw Giulia do. Just probably a little more pace. Just want to be arriving. Make sure you're reaching. Get a little piece of this head somehow. Either get on the jack or a little bit of the ball. I think that's what she's doing. She's going to go to the forehand, I think. So she's going to go to the forehand and try and play through those balls, I think, instead. See if she can get through them and split them. Interesting choice. Yeah, not bad. A solid third. It's got 2/3, but I don't think Giulia's going to be much different, not in her way. You can just play off, even can play off that red ball if she wants. Kind of come underneath. Better than shorter. Yeah, but this is fine. Look at that wall of blue. Songsin's gotta kind of break up this wall. It'd be interesting. I mean, Giulia would be hesitating. She'd be rocking at this. I'm curious what Songsin's gonna do. She's just gonna try and play something similar with a jacker ball. Gotta be positive. This is a little bit of an overdraw here. She's kind of a controlled drive, really. Trying to get some of this head. Oh, that's unlucky. Let's see if the ball goes in the ditch. Yeah, it does. She's kind of made the head a little bit bigger. Turned that shot ball over. Giulia's probably not going to do anything different. She would just do the same. 3 stunners. Holding 3. Just kind of wants to float it right in that little pocket with her fourth. It'd come right to the jack. Would be great. Just inside that one. Yeah, that's well. God, couldn't have dialed it up any better. That's a hell of an end right there for Giulia, regardless of what happens. That's a nice tight head and 4 great bowls. Take a bow, Giulia Gallo. All right. Well, with they're all tied at 7, this is a big moment in this match. This will be one to try and keep an eye out of what Songsin can do. She just kind of flicked that one over. Kind of a little bit of a tight pocket there. She's got 2/5 for whatever that's worth. And that tree. Oh, the coat's coming off. Coat's coming off. So you could see her. It's just so tight. I just don't see how she could do anything but come at it with some pace. Just hope for the best and hope that she gets paid off or cut some of it down. It's going to be really hard to try and draw this. I don't really see a draw working out too well. Yeah, she's got some pace here. She just switched hands this time. He really wants to get some of this head. Oh, man. Just needed a little more pace, I think, on that for that line. And especially with all those 4 heads, she really needed to try and clobber it as best she could. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 4 times. 4 it is, and a spectacular 4 great bowls by Giulia Gallo. 6 points in the last 2 wins to go up 11-7. Got the folks at Long Beach watching, her home club. Thank you, Marianne and John, Dee, Dan, Stanley. Thank you all for joining in. Hopefully you're enjoying this match. We're going to have some great bowling throughout this day here, our last day of the U.S. Open. Hope you're all enjoying it. running solo today, doing what we can. Actually, one of our original plans was to get Stephen Brault in the booth. He's actually a recently retired pro baseball player. Mostly played for the Pirates, played a little bit for the Cubs. And he's the nephew of the U.S. Open singles champion, Bill Brault. He kind of does it for a living, but they have fall baseball going on, and they didn't know what his schedule was going to be. And obviously, being a baseball player, that was going to be his strength. He was hoping to do some of those games, and obviously that's his priority. But he was hoping to help us out here. But he got called in. He got called in and had games all week, so he wasn't able to make it out here. But that is the reason why you might see his name around, because we were hoping he'd be able to make it out and come help us out on some of these days where it was just going to be me. So, but that's a priority for him. Understandable. All right, Giulia picking up where she left off. We went a little longer. You can see it's pretty close to the tee there. Just kind of lengthen it out a little bit. Just a bit, but she had zero difficulties. Beautiful draw. I was interested to see Songsin kind of switching hands. She played that backhand, which on this way so good. So for her to switch over is a little strange. And Giulia's just absolutely a machine right now. Look at this. I mean, she's rolled her last 6 bowls, and none of them have been outside a 1.5 feet. It's incredible bowling. All right, Songsin looking to get a pace of this head. I don't mind her pace really, but you really got to take the grass, and she was kind of struggling with not taking enough on this hand, and that's continuing. I think that's why she kind of switched over before. Yeah, reasonable pace, just kind of off on the line. Giulia seeing if she can make it another solid bowl here. Just really kind of found another gear these last few ends. This will be fine if she can just tick that one or float it right behind is really good too. Yeah, just dazzling bowls here by Giulia Gallo. Made the profile a little higher for Songsin if she wants to come with a little more pace. Try and get a little piece of it. The jack movement does favor her. She can hit that, either one of those 2 bowls, likely the jack is going to be touched and it's going to spring to her 2 on the side. Again, she's just not taking the grass. Just not taking enough grass, and definitely, you're 3 down. You do not want to be 5 feet short. Giulia's just wasting. I mean, Songsin's should be coming behind the head before Giulia goes. Giulia just doesn't care. She wants to get up there and just kind of throw it. She's just on fire. I mean, you play like this only a few times in your life. And this is just really well done. Yeah, just look at this. And she wanted something behind, and didn't move the jack, kind of threw it around. This is just, she's unconscious right now. Don't wake me up. Even Jordan next door, Jordan is kind of stunned and made a little comment to her about how good her bowls were. So, man, if I was doing this, I would say, don't wake me. Don't wake me up. Let me just, plop a couple more ends like this, then I'll go sit down, grab a snack. All right, Songsin, just really tight head. She's just kind of been up against a freight train right now. You can see her come with a little pace, see if she can get her line back and just try and get some of this head, see if she can spring that jack over would be excellent, but even just cutting it down would be a benefit for her. And she's, again, not taking the grass. Again, all 4 of them narrow and even short, no less. Just never really adjusted. So 2 4s in a row by Giulia Gallo to now take a commanding 15-7 lead in this third flight women's quarterfinal. 10 points in the last 3 ends. She was down 7-5 and then a 2, a 4, and a 4. That's and just incredible bowls. Just incredible bowling. Hey to Brian Webb from Elmwood Lawn Bowling Club, Canada. Welcome. And Giulia Justin, I think she's just kind of putting, she's had no problem with the distance or anything, but she's kind of putting, what we like to call putting her on the yo-yo, putting Songsin on the yo-yo, and just kind of going short, long. It's not quite that bad, but she just doesn't seem to, and you can see how Giulia's playing even faster. She's in the complete and absolute zone and doesn't want to change anything. See what she can do here. I mean, that bull is 1.5 feet away, and it's probably the worst bull she's thrown in the last 3 ends. It just shows how just out of her mind she's doing. Songsin's sticking with his hand, see if she can finally get the grass. I mean, it kind of favors her to kind of play it around. But yeah, this is a good opener by Songsin. And I like to see that she's on the center line or just a bull off. That's better. I like to see that. He's going to try it again. See if she can keep the machine running. Yes, she can. Look at this. Goodness gracious. Goodness. And she's, look at how close she is to that. Unbelievable. Songsin tried a little bit of a stab there. Just didn't really get very close, honestly. Well, Giulia's, at 15, and we're playing to 18. She could end this right here if she got another 3. I mean, a few ends ago, he would have said, "Oh, we're good for a good match, and it's going to be close." But Giulia's just is on fire, just completely on fire. She's holding the match right now. Unless Songsin can do something, they're going to be shaking hands. I think Songsin's going to come with a little bit of weight here. Yeah, again, just missing this line. It'd be interesting to see what Giulia does. She could play into those bulls, or she could just float it around. She's got the match right now. If she floats around behind, I wouldn't be surprised. That would be a good play just to keep the wackiness happening. But I think she's just opting to just kind of put another one even closer. This is unreal. Another just solid bull in a tight little pocket of 4, holding the match. Songsin's got to be wondering what the hell happened. She just wants to kind of float it around and show you where that jack is against that bull. So she's trying to find. She's going to go forehand here, see if she can get some of this head. Yeah, got one out, but I think that's not going to be enough. Probably going to be it, unless I missed some counting somewhere along the line. But that should be 3, and I think that's 18. Unless I missed the count somewhere along the line. They're shaking hands now. So it's just an absolute stunning display down the stretch by Giulia Gallo. Just good sportsmanship, but just an absolute buzzsaw down the stretch. So I'm kind of looking over right next door, and I see that. Just kind of see what happens real quick with this last end. I think Jordan's grabbed another big number here. I think she's up after this end 14-4. So Jordan looks like she's kind of cruising against Sherry Curry in that championship fight. Well, thank you all for watching this very brief broadcast here. Just Giulia Gallo will put her on a clinic over these last 3 ends, especially to end this match over Songsin Tsao. So Giulia Gallo will advance to the semifinals of the 3rd flight, and Songsin, hopefully she had a fun time in a nice tournament. So the next match is supposed to start about 20 minutes after the final match ends, but we might be a little while before we get to that. So not sure exactly when we'll pick it up again. I'm guessing it'll be in about, let me check the clock. I think it'd probably be safe for everybody to tune in at the top of the hour. I'll try and see if we can get something started and have some results, but you never know how the play is going to be. So thank you all for watching, and this is, once again, this has been, I should probably say, this has been Scott Roberts. Thank you all for listening in. Hope you've enjoyed it. Appreciate the feedback, and we'll be back on live around the top of the hour, I believe. All right, thank you all. Bye-bye.